गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गन शॉट. गन शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है. Bangladesh has entered an era of deluded frenzy. Completely deluded. It appears as if the bulk of Bangladeshis have gone off track completely. They don't even know what they're doing. Just look at it. Events have they unfolded. That Hadi guy was killed. His assailant is in Bangladesh. It's very clear by now. He's not come to India, but everyone is saying it's sponsored by India. It's not so. It now things are coming out as if it's a political killing. It's an internecine political warfare which is going on. A second leader has been killed after Hadi Sam Motlab Shekdar in Kulna. He is also an NCP leader. There is news of some other even more radical lot of guys gunning these guys down. There is something which is internal in Bangladesh. All this can happen only if the people are in a frenzy. They're deluded. But then everyone in Bangladesh is showing the finger at India. So we have to understand that you're not dealing with a normal nation anymore. Right? And our responses have to be accordingly. There. That's one. The second thing is whatever is happening in Bangladesh is triggering other things. It's triggering some other issues. When you see a madman behaving the way he is behaving, it's a natural reaction, psychological reaction, that someone else will also start saying, look, there's value to behave like a madman. Having said that, there are other issues. There are some positive elements coming out from within Bangladesh, and well, largely it's not positive. So how do we deal with this situation? That's the point I'll get to at the end. Okay. And actually, let me put the cart before the horse. Whatever is happening in Bangladesh and whatever I have spoken of it, every day it gets reinforced. Right? But then there are things which we have to do. First and foremost, the media. The media in Bangladesh is under attack, and violent attack. Okay, this is the editor of what's that? Daily Star. Now, Daily Star, if you read, is not a small. It's the largest circulation English daily. What does the editor say? He says they don't want to burn the building. They wanted to murder the staff of Daily Star. He says we have entered an era of murder. I could have made this my headline. In fact, I first felt this is what I should, but I leave it to right. Freedom of expression is a distant dream in Bangladesh. Now the fight is to stay alive. This is very interesting. It's not only that. Even the another new age editor, he's also saying something like look at these things which are coming out in social media. The media has come out in public. That's the issue. The media has now come out in public and is doing what it feels. When the media of a nation has to come out and talk like this, there's something drastically wrong with the nation. Okay. What does he say? Daily Star editor stated not only freedom of expression, but the very right of life. The very right to life is under threat in the current situation. Right? New Age editor Nurul Kabir alleged that elements within, or probably the entirety of the Yunus government, allowed the arson attacks on the offices of the Daily Star and Prathamala to take place. Just think if you two of the largest circulating media houses, one in Bengali and one in English, is attacked, and a third guy says this appears to be as if it's done by the government of the day. This 84-year-old idiot. What is the status? So any kind of democracy which if you think you will get in Bangladesh, just forget it. Okay. And of course, the guy who's tweeted it out is the information and broadcasting minister of the Hasina government. That's a different story. But I didn't. The clips are in Bangla, so I couldn't. I didn't get the clips because I don't understand Bangla. But you can understand the thing. Both these editors have spoken. Further, just listen to what this. He is the editor of what's that Daily Star. Listen to what he says, and he's pretty clear about it and quite calm.
They didn't only want to burn the building; they wanted to murder the staff of Daily Star. So we have entered এটা ফখরুল ভাই খুব সুন্দরভাবে বললেন যে we have not only to just react, stand together, but we have to respond. We have entered into an era of murder. মত প্রকাশ তো অনেক দূর হয়ে গেছে, এখন বেঁচে থাকার অধিকারের ব্যাপারে শেষ। আপনারা এখানে আপনাদের সঙ্গে আমরা আছি, আমাদের সঙ্গে আপনারা থাকবেন। ধন্যবাদ।
Look at it. Look, all marks to him. He says, we have to stand together. We have to fight this. But look at the forces within Bangladesh. I think it's time we understood, right? I think it's time we understood and realized that, look, the situation is something very unique. Here is a country which is completely refusing to understand what has happened in this from 1971 to now. It's completely 29 plus 54 years of its history. It is just ejected out of its memory. It's also ejected out the memory of how Pakistan has ill-treated them from 1947 to 71. The imagination of the people has been captured by those who are completely revisionist in nature, deluded. And you now start understanding that, look, Sheikh Hasina was probably right in ruling this country with an iron hand. She probably knew what was happening better than most of us. And it needs iron hand to get normalcy back. But then, what kind of normalcy? Is it the kind of normalcy that you and I want? Or it's the kind of normalcy which they want? They're seeking a normalcy which we don't want. And this is not going to go out. India has to understand this new phenomenon. And I'll take you through the paces, right? Now, Sheikh Hasina has given out an email interview, right? She speaks of the death of Usman Hadi. The tragic killing reflects the lawlessness that uprooted my government. Critical. It is that lawlessness and which uprooted her government and has multiplied under Yunus. Yunus, it appears himself is a fall guy. He's one of the forces of this chaos. He wants to make hay out of this chaos. Is he the perpetrator of all this chaos for his personal benefit in his old age? Violence has become the norm. She's right. Today in Bangladesh, violence is the norm, right? Such incidents destabilize Bangladesh, but that's an understatement. I think Bangladesh is beyond stabilization. But also a relationship with neighbors, all that fine. India sees the chaos, the persecution of minorities, and erosion of everything we built together. Just think. Bangladesh had a thriving economy which was the envy of Pakistan 1.5 years back. Today, their garment industry, it's got a one-house town kind of a system. Only the garment industry that's broken. And where's this garment industry? And look at it from a slightly different point of view. India's garment industry is thriving today. Okay? And wherever it is. It's actually got back its mojo. This is what India sacrificed for Bangladesh garment industry. Remember, if you say Bangladesh garment industry was doing very well, Bangladesh doesn't grow cotton. It doesn't have cotton. Everything was going from India there. And if everything was going from India to Bangladesh, it was at our expense. Our industry was suffering when their industry was going up. Why should we do it anymore? I mean, that's the end of the story. Let's do whatever we have to do. Right? Okay. So then the credibility of this nation is going down by day, and we'll touch upon that just a little ahead. Okay, look at what Veena Sikri says. This is a latest statement. I give a lot of credence to this lady because she's got the pulse of Bangladesh around. So just listen to what she says.
Absolutely. I think that, Yunus is taking so much interest in the election, and this person who died, Usman Hadi, oh, I mean, the kind of speech he gave and naming a hall after him, he was just an election candidate.
That's the important point. What was Usman Hadi? He's just an election candidate, nothing. He's just nobody. Now, the moment he dies, you make a martyr out of him, you make a national martyr out of him. What is this nation? And that is being propagated by this Yunus chap. And he does nothing else. Right?
I mean, you're actually trying to mainstream a person who was just an election candidate, who was not even known to the people of Bangladesh before July, August last year. So this shows Dr. Mohammed Yunus's own political predilections.
So, it's very clear that if Bangladesh has to right itself, they have to send this Yunus out. Otherwise, Bangladesh will be like this. And we are not in a state to send that fellow off. That's the next point. He's there. He's there for good. Whatever happens in Bangladesh. So we are in a situation. Look, we are not in a helpless situation. No? Let me put that. We are in a situation. We should understand the whole story. Okay, right.
That in anti-Indianism, this person, Osman Hadi, was known for his anti-Indianism. He was known for making claims on Northeast India. So this means that Mohammed Yunus shares his views. And Mohammed Yunus has never at any one point said that these people are wrong, that we should not make such statements, that the good relations with India are important. No, never.
So she's making some very serious points. Mohammed Yunus is behind all this nonsense. If he had iota of sense, he should have said, no, don't do this. He should have told the army, please stop it. He should have given directions to the police. He's done nothing.
He is just accepting their statements by keeping quiet. So obviously, I think Sheikh Hasina is fully right in saying that it is Mohammed Yunus who is perpetrating this anti-Indianism and who is trying to make anti-Indianism part of the Bengali psyche. And I think that he doesn't realize that this is not true. We have already rejected that. And we know that even in the political national opinion survey done by Pratham Alo, 70% want Awami League to participate. I mean, they're not going to vote for Awami League, all of them, but they want Awami League to participate in the elections. Absolutely. I think that,
that's the important part. Whether Awami League wins or not, they want the participation. So there is a silent majority which doesn't go with all this. But that silent majority has been, and will it come up? It can't. Look at the way the media has been muzzled. It is being muzzled by the street power. Completely out of character. I mean, in any country, if things go wrong, it's the media which stands up and points it out. And here the media is being targeted. What is this force which is in this country or from abroad which is doing all this? And why? It can't be for anti-India. I mean, let's get beyond that. The sentiment is anti-India, which is bubbling up, but it is for power in Bangladesh and for other reasons. And there is this huge sentiment of these Jamaati chaps who want to recreate East Pakistan. So the thing which is emerging is, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we have to see what is it in for India. I couldn't care a damn if all these fellows go and hang themselves. India has to contend with this phenomenon which is happening. And that is happening through frenzy. That's the point. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, this, look, luckily or unluckily or whatever, this has started appearing in international forums, which is good. International fora, wrong English, right? And this is a reaction which is, I wouldn't say reaction, this is an echo from the Canadian Parliament. Okay? So what has happened? Just listen. I mean, these are the things which are coming up. We'll see how it goes.
Independent channels. Thank you.
The honourable member for Thornhill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on behalf of petitioners who want this place to know that Hindus in Bangladesh have faced escalating violence, including arson, mob attacks, sexual assault, temple demolitions, and forced displacement. There has been over 2,000 incidents in 2024 alone. I want the petitioners to know that their voices are certainly heard here, and that the voices of the oppressed are amplified, and we are going to intervene before it's too late.
So she says, we want to intervene before it's too late. How will they intervene? So actually, she's giving away. So is there a case for us to get to countries which don't like what's happening? One, get to Bangladeshis who are outside US, outside Bangladesh, who are against what's happening. After all, there will be people who are against what's happening. And there are a lot of them. Is there a way to harness that force? Right? It's not only Canada. Okay? It's also Russia. Russia has spoken. The Russian ambassador has spoken. The Russian ambassador in India, in Bangladesh has spoken. He says Dhaka must move swiftly to de-escalate tensions with Delhi. Very clearly he's said this. Right? Okay, he says, stressing that the sooner the better. He reminded that Bangladesh very birth in 1971 was made possible through the decisive support of India along with the Soviet Union. So, it is a fact. Now, that is a new strain which we need to start using. Russia. Okay? The India-Russia factor should start playing up internationally. After all, Russia has influence. Let's lean on people who are there. And of course, I have completely radical issues. Yeah, but that's how it is. There is some feeling. You see, the point is that I always maintained that the street is taken over by Jamaati Islami, ye, wo, all that. I agree with you. There's no doubt. BNP is anti-India, there's no doubt. But slowly and steadily, people are realizing that they can't live without India. I mean, it's a matter of time before they come down on their knees. We forget about what we have to do or not. They will come down on their knees on their own. It's only it's a matter of time. Now, this is the first voice I've heard, from apart from the media, which has come up in a big way. This lady who is a BNP leader, okay, and she's come out with something very interesting. She says that Hadi's killer is known. He was given bail twice, and Hadi's killer is linked to Jamaat. It's come out from within. Even what I told you earlier. So that guy's killer is within. It's an internecine political warfare. That fellow is hired by Jamaat. And what was Hadi? Hadi is being supported by Jamaat. And the next guy now who's killed NCP, could also be in that variety. So this is complete political killing within. But everyone finds it convenient to blame India, and anti-India feelings are being blown up. Now the anti-India feelings are being so blown up through delusion, through this deluded frenzy that they're consuming their own media. That's the first thing, right? So we have to understand this phenomenon. Look at this. This is a domino effect which is going somewhere else. This guy who is a Palestinian, obviously, he's come out with another tangent. He's linking this with Palestine and India, all that. These are the forces we are dealing with. And sooner or later, that whole story will get linked to Pakistan. Because the fount of all this is probably in Pakistan. And that is where this whole story starts. Look at what he says.
Why are there millions of people marching on the streets of Dhaka, Bangladesh today as we speak? Bangladesh has been on fire for the last few days. Mass protests have erupted across the country, across all major cities, over the death of Sharif Usman Hadi, a Muslim youth leader. So who was our brother Usman Hadi? Usman Hadi was one of the key figures in the youth-led uprising that led to the toppling of Sheikh Hasina, the dictator of Bangladesh, in the middle of 2024, being last year. He was a prominent figure who led from the front and became a very vocal voice of this youth-led revolution. But there is more to the story of his death than meets the eye. You see, one of the things that Usman Hadi was most vocal about was the involvement and interference of India as a foreign power in the affairs of Bangladesh. He was highly critical of Sheikh Hasina being a puppet of India and being a figure that was used to meddle in the affairs of Bangladesh and its people and their well-being. So he continued to criticize India's meddling in the affairs of Bangladesh well after the revolution had taken place, because India has not let go of its control and its attempt to influence events on the ground in Bangladesh. There is a huge suspicion amongst people in Bangladesh that India has something to do with the assassination of Usman Hadi. And that, very importantly, that is the case because he remained a vocal critic of the Awami League party. The Awami League was the party that was led by Sheikh Hasina and which was at the head of corruption in Bangladesh for the last 15 years. So Usman, being a critic of the Awami League, was seen as a prime target of the Awami League in trying to eliminate its political opponents. In fact, the political platform that Hadi was affiliated with has released a statement today saying that by the leave of Allah, a great revolutionary martyr has been taken from him in the struggle against India. This is a resounding statement that goes to the heart of the hatred of the people of Bangladesh against the meddling of India in Bengali affairs. To understand why the youth and the people of Bangladesh generally are on the streets today, you need to understand this point. That so much of the struggle that the youth-led movement engaged in was on the involvement of India in the affairs of Bangladesh. Its nefarious influence, its attempt to create a geopolitical bloc for itself at the expense of the Bangladeshi people and their sovereignty. And this is the key thing that Muslims all around the world need to understand about India's role in regional affairs. Just as in another part of the world, the Zionist entity has a very, very dangerous and malicious presence in the politics of the region, so too India continues to meddle in the affairs of countries around itself to the great harm of Muslims. What India continues to do in Bangladesh is one example. What it continues to do in Kashmir is another example. So this is a key point for Muslims everywhere to understand that India has positioned itself as a regional hegemon that will always vie against Muslim interests. Today, we ask everyone to stand with Bangladesh in its noble struggle to throw off Indian influence. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant our brother Osman a great rank in Jannah for the sacrifices that he made.
So you see the narrative. This narrative is rant against India, Kashmir, Palestine, Muslims, everything. And where does it come from? This comes from a very sophisticated, lab. And that lab is where? Pakistan, China. It is not simple, right? It's not simple that what's happening inside. And this hatred, anti-India hatred is being pumped up. It's being pumped up deliberately. I mean, this is one I've found. There are a number of this in Bengali, which I don't understand. I mean, right? So I could show you 100 videos like this in Bengali. So there is a mass communication going on to the people of Bengal. This is something which you cannot reverse. Let's also accept it. This kind of propaganda, India can't reverse. India, with its incapability of communication, cannot reverse. Okay? So, if you don't have the capability of reversing this whole story, then you have to do something else. Let's accept that. It's time, probably, you declare Bangladesh in its current status as a adversarial neighbor. Let's not mince words, right?
What?
Okay, now look at this very thing. Harpreet, who I follow, very great guy, thinker. He's brought out this. Indians will starve if the flow of money from Bangladesh stops, says Musaddiq, literally in cultural secretary of DUSCU, that is Dhaka Unions, whatever it is. This is the thinking that they are the fount of the universe, that their wealth is being taken away by India, and that India will starve if but for Bangladesh. You can't stop them. Look what he says. He says East Pakistanis are very confident that India will soon come begging to them, because without their money, India cannot survive. This is their thinking. Of course, all these lines that GOI has extended to East Pakistan be damned. This is not a joke, mind you. I agree with him. I agree with Harpreet 100%. I hope he sees it. The narrative, the psychological narrative within Bangladesh is completely different. There is murder and mayhem at one level. They're destroying their own institutions. They don't mind doing all this. Is this thinking something like Hamas? Is this thinking something? What's the equivalent? I mean, I can't think of any of the equivalent except Hamas. At this point of time, we must also understand they're doing nothing to us. They're doing nothing to us. They can't do. But they can do if you start treating them normally. You should treat them as they are. I mean, this is this tweet which I saw made me think. You see, this Usman Hadi has been buried next to Qazi Nazrul Islam. I knew Qazi Nazrul Islam was a great poet. I heard when I was young. After that one, but what this tweet says is something else. I mean, they say what is Qazi Nazrul Islam about, and I'll read it out, because unless I read it out, you won't understand the psyche which is there in Bangladesh today. Right. 1 minute. Yeah, it says, here lies, this is the grave of Qazi Nazrul Islam. Here lies the poet Qazi Nazrul Islam, the poet who once wrote, I have only tried to bring Hindus and Muslims together and make them shake hands, to turn abuse into embrace. He was the national poet of Bangladesh. If that joining of hands is considered more improper than fighting, then they may separate on their own. They will not have to struggle to cut the knot I tied. For in one man's hand there is a stick, and in other man's sleeve there is a knife. The poet whose life partner was Pramila Devi, the poet who named his children Aniruddha, Sabyasachi, Arindam, Krishna Muhammad, the poet who wished to be laid to rest beside a mosque, the poet who with one hand composed Nate Rasul and with the other Krishna Kirtan, and today beside him has found a place in the earth, a communal violent beast called Osman Hadi. Those who never understood Nazrul even for a moment are the ones who now indulge in loud hollow theoretics or theatrics. Thus, besides the eternal resting place of Qazi Nazrul Islam, the greatest egalitarian and non-communal poet of 1,000 years, remains the witness to this rotten time and rotten generation. Even if humans are born again on the soil of Bengal 100 years from now, they will see the scars of the legacy of a decayed age. This is something. Can you imagine this Hadi who has stood for everything which is against Qazi Nazrul Islam has been given the place of honor next to Qazi Nazrul Islam? Okay. That generation has gone is a different thing. It's okay. If they have, just think, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who got freedom for them, stands obliterated. Qazi Nazrul Islam, who gave the secular, identity to Bangladesh, gone. India, which saved more than 10 lakh people of their own fathers, mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, gone. They're no more there. Forget it. I don't want sympathy. I don't want thing. But the fact is, you don't recognize them anymore. Right? Now the narrative is that 1971 India, it was India who invaded Bangladesh, not Pakistan. They have wished away 3 million rapes. Just gone. And some of these fellows would be, children of that bastard children of those rapes. Because those days abortions were not common. A lot. You go to history, which I can't show on YouTube. If I show all that, I'll get banned. There are documented things of people who ran establishments and international aid agencies in Bangladesh in 71 to give birth to all those kids who were born out of rape and give medical help, psychological help to all those young girls who were raped by Pakistanis. Maybe, I don't know. What kind of a country is this? Those children are the ones who probably, those genes are coming up in a different manner today. People who cannot respect themselves don't need respect. That's the point. Right. But there is something else which I want to highlight now. You see, this guy is from Pakistan. Okay. Will there be a domino effect from here into Pakistan? Very interesting. Something which we have to think of. There's something happening in Pakistan. Yesterday evening, we had this nice discussion with General Raj Shukla and General Harimo and Mr. Sri Iyer on Pakistan, Gaza. We touched on Bangladesh also. I suggest if you guys have not seen it, please see it. Okay. And I spoke of a domino effect. Right? Now, have a look at this. Hear what he says. Yeah.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। इस वक्त बांग्लादेश में उस्मान हादी नामी नौजवान क़यादत का कत्ल हुआ, उसको मार दिया गया, उसे शहीद कर दिया गया। करोड़ों का मजमू, लाखों करोड़ों का मजमू उसके जनाजे में शिरकत के लिए बेशुमार जगहों पे आगे लगी हुई है, घराव हो रहा है, तोड़फोड़ हो रही है, एहतजाज हो रहा है उसके कत्ल के बारे में। इस वक्त पाकिस्तान की एस्टैब्लिशमेंट सारे मामले को बड़े गौर से देख रही है, बड़े गौर से देख रही है। वो देख रही है कि अगर हम इमरान खान को एलिमिनेट करेंगे तो क्या होगा, कितने दिन तक होगा, कैसे कैसे होगा और कहां कहां होगा। लेकिन मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि पाकिस्तान की आवाम इसको कैसे देख रही है? पाकिस्तान की आवाम ये चाह रही है कि इस वक्त हम इमरान खान का एक जनाजा उठाएंगे या इमरान खान के साथ कदम शाना बशाना खड़े होकर हम इस निजाम के खिलाफ जंग लड़ेंगे और इस निजाम का जनाजा उठाएंगे। मैं ये समझता हूं कि पाकिस्तान की आवाम को इससे ज्यादा बेहतरीन मौका शायद कभी नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि इमरान खान के 2 मैसेजेस थे जिसका मैंने आगे भी जिक्र किया है, मैं मार दिया जाऊं या गिरफ्तार कर दिया जाऊं, निजाम को आपने एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना। फिर इमरान खान ने कहा था कि आजादी छीन के लेनी पड़ती है, प्लेट में आके को नहीं देता। और आज इमरान खान ये फरमा रहे हैं, इमरान खान साहब का ये मैसेज है कि मैं शहादत के लिए तैयार हूं। अब सोचना यह है कि पाकिस्तान की आवाम तैयार है? क्या पाकिस्तान की आवाम अपनी इस जिद्दोजहद के लिए तैयार है, या हम जनाजे उठाएंगे? हमें इससे ज्यादा अच्छा मौका नहीं मिलेगा जब इमरान खान खुद कह रहा है कि मैं शहादत के लिए तैयार हूं। मतलब ये है कि जिद्दोजहद के लिए तैयार हूं, आप बाहर आ। ये मौका है कि आप बाहर आ जाए, इससे पहले कि आपके जनाजे उठाए जाएं, इससे पहले कि आप लोगों के जनाजे उठाए जाएं। आपको इस पूरे निजाम का जनाजा उठाना, इस पूरे सिस्टम का जनाजा उठाना है जिसने पाकिस्तान की अदालतों का गला घोट दिया, इंसानी हकूक बर्बाद कर दिए, पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी को बर्बाद कर दी। इससे ज्यादा बेहतर और कोई मौका नहीं होगा। बैठ कर सोचिएगा कि हमने उस्मान हादी की तरह अपना रहनुमाओं के जनाजे उठाने हैं कि हमने पूरे निजाम का जनाजा उठाना।
So will this domino effect happen? Will something happen out of this? Which to be seen. Because, like I said yesterday, whatever is happening in Pakistan is also unusual. And when that fellow Asim Munir made his speech 3 days back, okay, from that day onwards, I've been uneasy about it. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about that tomorrow morning. Okay, I was to do this Arunachal, travelogue, 3rd part, but I'll do that later. So tomorrow we'll do Pakistan. We'll take it from here to there, my way. Right? So there is likely to be a domino effect. But the fact is, now after so many years, I've come to the conclusion the Pakistani people are a weak people. Why are they weak? They voted Imran Khan into power. And mind you, Imran Khan is one of the guys who brought glory to Pakistan in 92. Those of you who have not seen the cricket victory, World Cup victory in 92, must see it. He's a guy who's brought cancer cure to Pakistan. He might be many things which are wrong. Okay. And that guy they voted for him. He's the most popular figure and is in jail. And the people have allowed him to be so. And some of these guys of PTI are romantic enough to say the people will rise. The Pakistani people will never rise. They let Bhutto hang. They killed Ziaul Haq. Right? They murdered Benazir Bhutto. They murdered all their people. Liaquat Ali Khan was assassinated, one of the first Prime Minister of Pakistan. They can only do this. They can only produce dictators who will run away. So, the people of a nation deserve what they get. It is true with Pakistan, it is true with Bangladesh. We deserve what we get. And that what we get and what we deserve will depend on how we behave. I'm glad that India has behaved better. Of course, we have islands of fools and radicals on both sides of the divide. Let me be very clear. Okay, it's not one-sided. So we have to see how this whole story pans out, right? Let me see if there's anything else.
Yes.
Yeah, even this is in the news. This business of Greater Bangladesh, and of course there is a reaction which is coming in either from the northeast or from Jharkhand or from Bihar and everywhere. No, Bangladesh is not going to get away from this. That I can assure you. The people of India will not let Bangladesh get away. But till then, we have to do what we have to do. And what do we have to do? I mean, that's a question. I'm very clear about it. You have to enforce the Monroe Doctrine. Right? You have to tell people It's time India stood and told people first, anything which is done, which is inimical to India, India will take action. One. Number two, warn people of Bangladesh. Three, if they don't take care of their Hindu brethren, we will have to come and do something. Tell them what we have to do, we have to do. You clearly tell them, look, that water treaty will not, we will do dealings hereafter. I mean, one thing which you can do, a political message, that any dealing, economic, water, electricity, everything, will only be dealt with the new government. And the new government and the elections must include all parties, including Awami League. They don't have the right to ban. The current government does not have the right to ban Awami League. It is beyond the constitutional remit of this government. Lay the line. Unless we lay the line, things won't happen. Right? And of course, I've said, this part, threaten them. This and this. Make it unequivocally clear that we have the capability to widen the Siliguri corridor the way we want. You forget about a greater Bangladesh, which includes Jharkhand, Orissa, and Bengal, and Assam, and Tripura, and Arunachal. You're going to learn to live with a lesser Bangladesh. The lesser Bangladesh is what you will get ultimately, and bottle them up. Okay. People talk of a security corridor around Bangladesh. I would say declare a zone of Indian interests within Bangladesh, as I have shown in this, and say anything inimical here to Indian interests will be acted upon. India reserves the right to do so. Lay the line, lay the danda. There are no two ways about it. The time, okay, the time has come. And mind you, let me grant our strategists what they're doing fully. We built 3 cantonments, one at Chopra, one at Kishanganj, and one at Dhubri. Dhubri is the place where the Brahmaputra enters into Bangladesh and as Padma or Meghna, and one of the two. Padma is, I think, Ganga enters as Meghna, Padma, and when this goes, it becomes Meghna. I'm a little confused. Anyway, Dhubri, Kishanganj, yeah, and Chopra. What does Chopra do? Chopra is sitting at the head of the Tetulia corridor. Okay, Chopra sits at the head of the Tetulia corridor to cut off, because you cut off the Tetulia corridor, you are in Siliguri, or rather Jalpaiguri. Right. Immediately that corridor opens up. One. Number two, what does Kishanganj do? Kishanganj and Dhubri, if you see, can do a pincer on this. You can lop off on top Kishanganj and this. That is why we have done this. I'm sure something is happening, because I see the Eastern Army commander has gone to Agartala. I'm sure some action is there. So the threat is in place. The military action is in place. A military action is not to go to Dhaka. Let me tell you this. If there's a military action, we have to do what we have to do. But I don't think we have come to that. And many times, a threat in being is more than what it is. Now, in the meantime, I think we should stop issuing visas to Bangladeshis to come to India. They're not welcome here. Equally, we don't have to go. The Bangladeshi visa centers in India also have been closed, and one in Agartala and where else, Calcutta or not. Fine, let them close. Let them go back. So just keep one in Dhaka and one in Delhi and communicate through that. Enough. And of course, like I said, if there's a problem in Dhaka, extricate our forces through our force. Extricate them through Agartala. From Agartala to Dhaka is very close. Okay, you have to just see the map to understand how far Agartala is from Dhaka. That's it. Okay, that's all I have for the day. If you like this session, press the thumbs up button, subscribe to Ghana Short, and of course, join me as a member. I'll be grateful to all of you. And I'll come up with my analysis. This is a crisis. This crisis is not going to go away easily. And I'll come with my own way of doing things. Of course, I'll get others also to speak, but largely in the mornings, I will be doing solo. Okay. First, thanks a lot, Ramakrishna Vinayak Murthy. I saw somewhere in China, Iran railway is complete. Have they really bypassed Malacca? No. Just forget it. They're not. You can't bypass. China can't bypass Iran. Just by a rail line in Iran, the Malacca dilemma doesn't. You see, China has a Eurasian rail which goes right up to Sofia, Bulgaria, okay, across Kazakhstan and all those. And one shoot might be coming into Iran, but I have not heard of it. Even if it does come, how much can a train take? And what will they take from Iran, from the north? You have to understand the topography of Iran. Iran in the north is all mountains. All mountains. Okay. It is in their oil, soil, everything is in the south. To take that oil to the north, Iran will collapse. Iran doesn't have that capability. Iran doesn't have that rail network. We are struggling for the INST, International North-South Corridor through Iran. Why? Because the rail links are not there, road links are not there. So if you understand the whole topography, everything, just don't worry. Yeah. Right. Let me go over some questions, some relevant ones. He says, why is army afraid of a three-front war? Are we scared of China, Pakistan? Prashant, I think you're a fool. First and foremost, I must tell you this. Because only a fool will ask such questions. I am blunt about these things. So when you come here and ask questions, don't ask loaded questions like this. Okay? You can ask genuine questions, I'll answer. But having said this, having called you a fool, let me answer you. Indian Army is not scared. If you have to fight a three-front war, we will fight. But is that desirable? Is it wisdom? That is foolishness. It is foolish to fight with three people at the same time. Our main issue still remains China and Pakistan and the collusion there. We've tasted it in Ops Indore. We should prepare for that. With Bangladesh, we don't need a war. You don't need a war. You might be at a war if you say so, or if things are happening. But you can handle this differently. You can handle it completely differently. And you can handle it with minimal force. And sooner or later, things will start collapsing. One. Number two, I also feel an important aspect which so far we have not utilized is military to military contact. We have some great contact between Indian Army and Bangladesh Army. I think we should start getting into that. Okay, Shruti Chandak, Namaskar. Jeet also, good morning. Vasu Iyengar, good morning. Saurabh, yeah. Saurabh, thanks a lot for joining. Morning, sir. Finished watching Three Good Generals yesterday's show. Brilliant. Yeah, you must all see it. Because yesterday, the level of discourse was pretty high. We spoke of a lot of things, a lot of facts, a lot of angles. And there are a lot of angles in that story and will continue. That's why I said tomorrow I'll talk of Pakistan my way. Join in tomorrow morning. Okay, Ladybird Haru, good morning. I can understand Bengali. I suggest you, if you can, take a few clips and if you can convert them into English and send them with subtitles, I'll be grateful. I'll show it. I need this. And yeah, you've seen that statement. I go with it. Did our 1971 top military heroes recommend anything for our geopolitical security right after we won. I know we lost it politically, but did anyone put suggestions like you do now? I don't know. I mean, we didn't. Genuinely, we didn't. Genuinely, we felt things were under control. And, the bonhomie of that time was different. I mean, let me also say, I've said this before also. I was an instructor to two Bangladeshi officers. I was teaching them, I was an instructor in the long country staff course in 85, 80, 85. Yeah, 85 it was. 85 in School of Artillery. One had about 13 years of service. He was senior to me. I just had about 5-6 years of service there. 77 commission, 84, 85. I'm forgetting if it's 84 or 85. One of those. I was a youngster, captain. That Bangladeshi chap was a major and he had about 13 years service and he was part of the Pakistan army. He was hostile to our way of thinking. The younger guy had just about 4 years of service. He was young. He was younger than me. He used to come. We used to be good friends. The thing about LGSC is the guys who are instructors are almost your course mates, or sometimes junior, sometimes senior. So you in the class, you're the instructor, so you're deemed senior to the rest of the people, and they have to listen to you. But once that over, you play squash, you have a drink, all that together, go to the club together, and go biking together, all that. We knew each other from ND8 days. That was a thinking. And this fellow also used to come with us, and he was quite normal. So the bonhomie was good, and he used to talk about Bangladesh very well. And much later, also, I've had interaction with Bangladeshi people, officers in my career, and they're good. So we have this great connect between, Bangladesh army and us. So that's something which we have to leverage. And we never thought those days about this, the Rangpur thumb and all that. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Akash. Yeah. I can understand the emotions being high right now everywhere in India, but we should not stop Bangladesh while they are committing the mistake of eating them. I 100% agree with you. There's a saying, you shouldn't interfere with your enemy when he's killing himself or making a mistake. Let them do what they want. Yeah. I hope government prepares social media influencers. Why is India intervening? Yeah, I hope so. I hope they do. Good morning. Thanks a lot. At CAPS, former air chief came down hard on MOD and PAB's information strategy. I hope so. I also said so. Should India declare Jamaat-e-Islami a banned organization? Yeah, you must. I mean, we have no doubt. Claiming direct speech from Allah is considered shirk for misguiding the Muslims, and Muni is guilty. Look, we'll talk of it tomorrow. There's some reactions coming from Pakistan. We'll talk of it tomorrow. Does Government of India and current military setup has a mechanism of getting inputs from retired military experts like you and others who gave out excellent job? Yeah, we have. There's no doubt. I mean, I have. All of us. It's not only one. We have. I mean, officially. That's why I said, we went for that Ran Samvad. What is Ran Samvad? I mean, you must know how strong our systems are. What is Ran Samvad? 2 days we were there. The chief of defense staff was there. So was the chief of air staff, air chief. Army chief was not, the vice chief was there. Then naval chief was there. They came. And a whole lot of formation commanders were there. A whole lot of experts serving. They gave a presentation. This side, we were all veterans, selected media people, senior media people, some from the industry, but a whole lot of veterans of some reputation and standing. I was considered so. I'm very happy about it. I mean, I'm proud of it. So we were there. They gave a presentation to all their thoughts, and we gave our comments about it. And they took it. And then last month, I went for the annual strategy seminar, you know, in Army War College. And the Army War College, and then they asked me to present a few things about what we want them to do. We did. In fact, when I came back, I spoke about technology maxims, if you remember. Look, what I told them about dealing with India, Pakistan, China, and all, I'll not tell you. Okay. I mean, it's not good to be in the public domain. But people ask, people talk. What do you think General Dushyant is? He's a think tank of the Indian Army. He's heading the think tank of Indian Army. That's why I say our medium is a very powerful medium. People who come here are of caliber. We go only to selected channels. I don't go to every third Tom, Dick, and Harry. So please understand, we've been responsible for the defense of this nation some time back, hands on. Today we continue to contribute. Many won't because it's their choice. They become old, they have other interests, they have medical problems, they have other personal issues. But guys like me who have nothing, who are still this thing, must. Yeah. So the end of the day, Satish, is that the Indian Army veteran community does guide the current leaders. No doubt. Yeah, Sri Devika, good morning. Just want to know if there's an option of either to broaden the Siliguri. I've told you. You're all my daily news. Thanks for it. I wouldn't like to be your daily news. I would like to be your daily analyst. Coming here for analysis. Okay. Do you have any hope of a fair election in Bangladesh? As I think this UNISFOLO has no chance. How can India nudge the situation in this direction? Should we be dealing with the unelected government? You have to ask international observers. That's why, that's why I showed what happened in Canada. Okay. Canada has said something. Russia. So mobilize international opinion to ensure that elections take place on time. Today, somewhere I read, Yunus has said that he'll hold elections in time. But they shouldn't be hijacked. And people should vote without fear or favor. So is there a case for us to start talking to international actors that these elections should be held under international watch and by international actors? Neutral. So that the elections don't get hijacked. And I'll talk of this. Is the West wary of more Islamic extremist attacks on their own citizen after Bond? They are funked. See, the Western liberal society allowed Islamism to grow and become radical. Now they are eating them. That's it. General Gunner short t-shirts are fantastic. Get a lot of questions and comments. Thanks a lot. Oh, thank you, HD. I hope you bought some, and I will comment this to anyone who's abroad. If you are abroad and you want to have a Gunner short t-shirt, go and order one, because the quality there is good. Why I have not got Gunner short t-shirts in India is I'm not sure of the quality here. I've not got, like I said, anyone who knows any guy who can make good quality t-shirts or coffee mugs and all in India, let me know. I'll get. And the designs are out of the world. Let me tell you about the design of the Gunner short design. Okay, which is at the end you will see. The Gunner short design is done by someone who's an expert designer. Let me put it as an expert designer. Okay, who spent a lot of time abroad in one of the best museums in the world, and in that field, Getty. This lady has been in Getty museums, and she designed a lot of things for them. So she said, "Why don't I do this for you?" I said, "Yeah, do it." So I got her to design, and then I got her to design Agni Shodh also. So those T-shirts, the mugs, I put all guns, ultralight howitzer, Pinaka, and all that. They're fantastic, and they're pretty cheap for someone who's abroad. Okay, I'm trying to get anyone who's going to come from USA. I'm going to order and get some, and maybe I'll start doing podcasts with a Gunner Shot T-shirt on, with the Gunner Shot T-shirt on, with the mug and something like that. But I'll do it from February onwards. Okay, because some of my relatives are coming from there. I'm going to get it. Yeah. How to ruin your country, Bangladesh. I agree with you. His English accent reveals it all. Yeah. As the region become more volatile post Sergio Gore appointment as ambassador, coincidence or American clandestine services? No, I don't think Sergio Gore has been able to do anything great so far. There's time. Okay. Bangladesh has been in thing from earlier only. Things are there happening. And you see, also understand uh, a whole lot of this is political violence related to elections. My own take is that these Islamists are worried that they'll not get, and they have to do something to ratchet up the violence and scare people into voting for them. Yeah. I have seen a video which states that we provide $5 billion remittance, and if we stop, India will. That's foolish. Okay. Will this street nonsense overflow into our West Bengal or Assam? I don't think so. I don't think that'll happen. Uh, Assam definitely not. Assam definitely not, because Assam borders is Nagaon and you know some part of. In fact, there's really no part of southern Assam which borders Bangladesh. The Bangladesh on the east, uh, the borders are Meghalaya and down Tripura. There's no border with the Muslim-dominated areas of Assam, Nagaon, Karimganj, and third district road there. Those are not directly connected with Bangladesh. Okay. On the north, of course, Kokrajhar, that belt where Dubri, that belt where Brahmaputra flows in, that place. And then, of course, Bengal, Alipurduar, Kuch Bihar, all these have common borders. Those are this thing. But the real problem is in Murshidabad and alongside Calcutta. Okay. Yeah, there's a metro station under the name Qazi Nazrul Islam. They are gone around the bend. Yeah, that's the pity. So Islamists don't believe in reason, prosperity, economics, development. If we don't, it's our fault. I agree with you. I agree with you completely. If their aim is to target, if they aim India, but their target is BNP, NCP is unable to create traction post Yunus. These incidents, they want to create sympathy for Hadi and get vote. Yeah, I suppose so. But all these, see, you have to understand. Fundamentally, the Bengali people are pretty intelligent. They're not fools. Okay, if you dealt with Bengalis, either this side, that side, everywhere, they're very intelligent people. So they know how to see through all this nonsense. Jamati Islami Hindu has a new channel called Media One in Kerala. They should be banned straight away. There's no doubt about it. So Islam, as documented, is not supportive of democracy. Loot, rape, pillage is the norm, and geographical entities that project themselves as democratic nations. 100% right. Islam is not democratic at all. Right? It's not. It is antithetical to democracy. It's only where Islam has been modified to a certain extent by local sentiment and where it is okay. Yeah, weakness of current GUI is communication narrative building. 100%. 100%. It's a flaw for us. And it's a very costly flaw. Our government is lazy in communication or building narratives. There are many talented people in GUI, but yeah, I agree. I am not happy with what our government has done. The idea of Pakistan was born in Bengal, not in Punjab. I agree with you. I completely agree with you, Srinivas. And I've said this before also. I've said this before also to you. The crux of the problem is there. You solve POJK and Gilgit-Baltistan. And today I feel that we can do it. Then a whole lot of things will change. We'll talk of it tomorrow. Yeah, your T-shirt is looking like Bangladesh flag. No, this is the T-shirt of the Madras Gymkhana Club. Incidentally, this is the logo of the Madras Gymkhana Club. You missed out a branding opportunity. How about Griha Mandala or Homeland Sphere? Yeah, maybe. कुछ नहीं करना, कोई एक्शन नहीं लेना, तो हम रोज इसकी बात ही क्यों करते रहे? ऐसी बात नहीं है, हमने कुछ एक्शन कर दिया है. Don't if only we had someone like I look, I'm sure we will do that. See, after all, we've given the clear indication that we want to, take our territory and protect our Siliguri corridor militarily. That I told you why those three have come. It's only a matter of time before Agartala station detaches a detachment and goes and sits on top of the place where you can cut it off. The second chicken neck of Bangladesh. Don't underestimate India. Yeah. We are a weak state. I think you're a weak man to talk like this. Let me be very clear. Only weak people speak like this. Okay. And this guy, 49 DM, I am banning him because I think his comments are seditious. Okay. We are not a weak state by we just don't take decisions at the right time. I don't agree with you. We are a democracy. Democracy appears slow, but eventually it is more effective. Yeah. Why is India still waiting? Yeah, India will do it at its pace. I'm only giving ideas. I'm not saying do it by tomorrow. India will have to do it at its right place. Don't look time. I saw a video where Bangladesh army was telling these radicals we are supporting you. I don't agree with it. Yeah. Is Indian intelligence considering the role of Starlink for passing directions to leaders? All this will happen in this kind of a thing. Don't worry unnecessarily. Yeah, Dunga, why? From Bangladesh, let me read him out. Radical mullah breeding madrasas and radical military officers keeping entire people of Bangladesh and Pakistan hostage. Hopefully, India can support people of undivided India free from these two groups. You have people like him also who have different ideas. And good morning, and hopefully, India-Bangladesh relations will improve after this crazy Jamaat and NCP saga is over. In Bangladesh, next government must reduce all their religious overdose. I hope so. I hope the government has the capability to do so. And I'm glad that you are optimistic that this saga will get over. Yeah. Then of course, good morning. Thanks a lot, Purnaswamy. Why is India still waiting? We'll take our time. Yeah. Yeah, generally your comment to bring international comment to watch over Bangladesh is it's fair is wishful thinking. No, getting elections conducted under international thing is well on the cards. Don't Yunus is afraid of neutral election. Yes, already Awami League supporters started strongly protecting themselves against NCP and Jamaat. We can take your t-shirts in we can make your t-shirts in Bangladesh. I hope one day we get the chance. Your opinion on artillery from different nations. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your contribution. I have experiences of working with Bangladeshi crews on ships. They are largely friendly, but a few of were religious bigots and trying to keep them from being very friendly with Indians. Yep, that's it. People of West Bengal and Assam are far more educated than Bangladesh. We have never been too serious in Bangladesh with our education. Allah Islam is traded every day in madrasa education. I agree. One prominent analyst in one Hindi channel told yesterday it is a wrong decision to fight for Bangladesh in 19. All this is stupid. I don't know what is ages and what this analysis is all about. And in Hindi channels, I find that they pick every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come and speak what they want. I am not in agreement with this. Yeah. 3 yellow rectangles rock. Yeah. Someone from Tirupur contact. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try. Sir, our people don't take time out to read and inform themselves and then shout from the rooftops. And yeah, that's also there. That's a fact. Good morning. Thanks a lot. I don't have any doubts about extending the geography in Bangladesh, but what would be the realistic plan for local population shift after that? See, that is why you shouldn't take out a big chunk. The first chunk is the thumb, the Titulia corridor. Just knock it off. Hardly few. They'll get integrated. The rest we'll deal with later. Okay. Hussein says, good analysis. Thank you. Yeah, despite being economically more prosperous, why Bangladesh military lags behind Pakistan? It lags behind military because it was designed to be. It was, Bangladesh, the people in Bangladesh, see, you have to again see, Bangladesh military never fought in their entire history. Never fought. The only time they fought was with the Indian Army help in 71. After that, they never had to fight. So their army was mainly giving them foreign exchange by going to UN. They never had equipment. They went into Chinese equipment. Chinese have given them rotten equipment. And they never had an enemy. Actually, speaking, Bangladesh doesn't have an enemy. All it has to understand is, if it understands India is not its enemy, they will prosper. And 15 years of that prosperity rubbed off. So, and the Pakistani Bengali army was never, it had no great ideas. So that's why it lags and it don't have that capability. That's the point. Yeah. Bangladesh has already a logistics problem, expensive to ship. Yeah. I suppose so. Yeah. In Nepal, people are protesting against atrocities in Hindu. That's an emotional reaction in Nepal. I wouldn't like to react like that. I wouldn't like to do all. I mean, I could have got a lot of videos of all this reaction. We're not interested in that. Look, this is not a reactive channel, not an emotional channel. We are talking analysis as to what India should do ahead. At the end of the day, we should be clear how will Bangladesh evolve and how do we deal with them? These are the two questions. India's interests are prime. That's it. Okay, can India stop Pak, China and US indulgence? No, it can't. You can't do it. Let's be very clear. Unless Bangladesh wants it, they can't. So leave it at that. We'll deal with the situation as it is. Why am I telling you? It's not because India can't deal with the situation. Why am I telling you all this? So that you understand that India can deal with the situation. And you should know what is the situation and how India is going to deal with it, and how India should deal with it. That's it. Okay. With this, thanks a lot. We'll. Yeah. Do you think the current government is soft on dealing with external threats? I don't think so. They're doing it quite okay. It might be off here and there, but fundamentally, their orientation is right. Okay. Okay. With this, thanks a lot. Do join in the evening. We're going to go back about Pakistan, get General Vinod Bhatia and Gautam Murthy on thing. Yeah. And because that is something going on a bit of a tangent, and we'll see what we speak in the evening, and tomorrow I'll do my own analysis. Till then, have a great day and enjoy yourself.